Picture this. You're paying your electricity bill right now, $120, or $180, maybe $240 a month. And somewhere in that house, right now, tonight, your chimney is stealing from you. Not metaphorically, literally. Every single minute your furnace runs, your chimney is taking the heat you paid for, the heat you burned fuel to create, and silently releasing it into the open sky for free. But here's the part they never told you. That stolen heat, it could be powering your lights right now. And the device that does it, $18. I'm going to show you the science behind it. I'm going to show you why it works. And then I'm going to show you why you've never heard about it, because those are two very different questions. And the second one is going to make you angry. What nobody taught you in school. Let's start with a cold winter evening. Your family is gathered around the fireplace. Warm, comfortable, cozy. The chimney is doing its job, pulling smoke up and out of the house. Seems perfect, right? Here's what nobody tells you. That chimney isn't just removing smoke. Every single minute, it is pulling enormous amounts of heat your furnace just worked hard to generate, and releasing it into the cold, open sky. You paid for that heat. You burned real fuel for it. And then, silently, invisibly, your chimney gave it all away, for free. Now, here's the question I want you to hold in your mind for the rest of this video. What if that wasted heat could power your lights instead? Now, let me introduce you to something. It's called a TEG, a thermoelectric generator. It looks completely unremarkable. A small, flat metal plate, barely larger than a matchbox. You can buy one online for $15 to $30, but bolt it onto a hot chimney pipe. And something remarkable happens. The difference in temperature between the hot side and the cool side generates a real usable electric current. Zero fuel, zero moving parts, zero noise. Not a lot of power, we'll talk numbers in a minute, but enough to charge a phone, run LED lights, power sensors, or feed into a battery system, and it runs as long as your fire burns. So where did this technology come from? The accidental discovery that changed everything. 200 years ago, 1821, a German-Estonian physicist named Thomas Seebeck was running what seemed like a simple experiment. He connected two different metals in a loop, bismuth and copper, applied heat to one junction. His compass needle moved. Without any battery, without any magnet. Just heat, two metals, and electricity appearing from nothing. He called it thermomagnetism. He thought he was doing magnetism research. He had actually discovered a completely new way to generate electricity from heat alone. We now call it the Seebeck Effect. And it is the foundation of every single thermoelectric generator ever built. When you have two different conductive materials and a temperature difference between them, electrons flow. That flow is electricity. Simple. Proven. 200 years old. Now, if you still think this sounds too simple to actually be real, I want you to consider where NASA uses it. The same technology keeping spacecraft alive for 47 years. The Voyager probes, launched in 1977, still operating today, over 14 billion miles from Earth. They are powered by radioisotope thermoelectric generators, RTGs, which are essentially the exact same Seebeck effect, using radioactive decay as the heat source instead of fire. NASA's Mars rovers, Curiosity, Perseverance, same principle. No solar panels needed, no batteries that die in the Martian night. Just heat converting to electricity, silently, for decades. Why does NASA trust this technology above all others? Because thermoelectric generators have no moving parts, nothing to break, nothing to wear out. They are the most reliable power source ever engineered by human hands. Let me say that again. This is not a gadget from a late-night infomercial. This is the same technology trusted to keep a $2.5 billion spacecraft alive in the absolute darkness of deep space for 47 years and counting. The number that should bother you. Here is a number that should genuinely bother you. American homes lose between 20 and 30% of all their heating energy straight up the chimney. Not because of bad insulation, not because of old windows, just through the flue, the exhaust pipe that every fireplace, furnace, and wood stove has to have. The average American household spends about $900 a year on heating. That means $180 to $270 disappears every single winter as hot air into the atmosphere. Money you already spent, heat you already paid for, gone. But here's what changes when you know about TEG technology. That heat, the heat you already paid for, carries electrical potential. The chimney on your house is not a waste pipe. With the right device, it is a power source waiting to be tapped. Your home could be its own small power plant. And the fuel, it's already burning. The calculation, the energy industry doesn't want you to do. Let's do some math. There are roughly 142 million housing units in the United States. Chimneys, fireplaces, wood stoves, gas furnaces exist in tens of millions of them. Suppose just 50 million homes installed even the most basic thermoelectric setup. And suppose each one generates a conservative 50 watts. That is 2.5 gigawatts of electricity, generated for free from heat that was already being thrown away. For reference, a standard nuclear reactor produces about 1 gigawatt. So we're talking about the equivalent output of 2.5 nuclear power plants, produced by homeowners, off the grid, without any fuel cost, without any utility company involved at all. Now you understand why this technology makes certain people very nervous. Why you've never heard about this. In 2019, researchers at MIT published a breakthrough. New thermoelectric materials achieving efficiency levels of 15 to 20%. A massive leap forward. Scientists were excited. The paper made waves. Then, nothing. No major government subsidies followed. No industry investment poured in. No headlines in mainstream energy news. Compare that to solar. In the same period, solar panel manufacturers received billions in federal subsidies, tax incentives, and research grants. Technology was everywhere, on rooftops, in news stories, and politicians' speeches. Ask yourself, why would a 200-year-old proven technology, now dramatically more efficient, receive almost no institutional support, while a much younger technology gets everything? A utility company has one product, kilowatt hours. Every unit of electricity you generate yourself is a unit you don't buy from them. That's not a minor concern for their business. That is an existential threat to it. The industry even has a term for what you'd be doing: distributed generation. And internally, utility company strategy documents going back decades describe distributed generation as one of the primary risks to their long-term revenue model. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is basic corporate economics. When your customers can make the product themselves, you have a problem. And the response to that problem, historically, has been lobbying, regulation, legislation, designed to make self-generation as complicated and expensive as possible. The rule that protects nobody except them. In Florida, lawmakers pushed to require permits for small-scale personal generation setups, including devices that produce only a few watts, devices that never connect to the grid at all, devices that power a single lamp, a phone charger, a sensor. The stated reason? Safety? The actual effect? A paper trail, a fee, a barrier. Then there's the story from Vermont. A woman mentioned on an online forum that she had set up a small thermoelectric generator connected to her wood stove, purely off-grid, no grid connection whatsoever. Within weeks, a representative from her local utility company contacted her, not a government inspector. Her utility company, they knew because they monitor. Because to them, every home that stops buying is a customer they are losing. One retired engineer, 3 days of ice storm, 0 problems. Meet Paul Lapointe, retired engineer, Vermont, small house, big wood stove, and a stubborn belief that a man should not need permission to generate his own electricity. Paul mounted 6 thermoelectric modules directly onto his wood stove's flue pipe, bolted flat against the hot metal. Aluminum heat sinks on the cold side, wired through a charge controller to a small battery bank in his basement. The result? 47 watts, continuous, for as long as the stove burned. Not glamorous, not 47 kilowatts, but 47 steady, reliable, off-grid watts that belonged entirely to him. Total investment? Under 200 watt-hundreds. Then came the ice storm of 20 to 23. 3 days. The entire county went dark, power lines down. Repair crews overwhelmed, neighbors waiting in the cold, dead phones, no internet. Paul's house had lights. Paul had the internet. Paul made coffee. His payoff? Resilience that money in the utility grid simply cannot buy. Paul's story is not unique. In Nepal, families attach TEG modules to their cooking stoves. The same fires they cook dinner on now charge phones that connect them to schools and markets. In Australia's outback, station owners hundreds of kilometers from the nearest power. Line-run communications equipment using wood-fired boilers combined with thermoelectric arrays. In rural India, NGOs deploy cooking stove TEGI kits, generating enough power for an LED lamp and a phone charger, transforming evening hours from darkness into study time for children. This technology does not require an advanced economy. It requires a fire and a temperature difference. That is why it spreads to exactly the places that need it most, and exactly the places that utility companies do not reach. So let me ask you one final question. The energy industry isn't silent because this technology is fake. They're silent because they're hoping you never ask. A 200-year-old discovery. Confirmed by NASA. Used on Mars. Available for $18. The chimney on your house is not a waste pipe. It is a power source waiting to be tapped. The question is, are you going to keep paying for something you could already be making yourself? If this opened your eyes, share it with someone who pays an electric bill. Because the moment millions of people start asking the same question, everything changes. And that question is already being asked.